Thank you very much, Utman Oladepo. If I understand you correctly, the question is you are studying law, but you don't have a passion for law. You are probably pushed into studying law by your parents, and you have passion for other things. So, what advice do I have for you to succeed in your career? I'll tell you, what you are going through is not a big deal. I also went through the same thing. I never wanted to become a lawyer. I wanted to become a journalist or a custom officer because my neighbor, my seatmate in my secondary school, his father was a custom officer and they had nice cars. And I thought I wanted to be a custom officer. And because I know I like to write, I like to talk, I said I wanted to be a journalist or a journalist. And my dad said no, my dad was a lawyer. He said I should go and study law. So when I was in the university, I always tell my friends that I want to be I want to work in a bank. I work in GTB because I like the way GTB people always dress. GTB bankers, they always well. I mean, I like people who dress well. Once you dress well, I would like to be your friend. So that's why you see me. I'm always well turned out every time. But when I went to law school and I got to court attachment, and I went to the courtroom one day. The first day I got to the courtroom, I had goose pimples all over my body because I loved what was happening there. I discovered my passion. So what am I trying to tell you? Anywhere you find yourself, whether by accident or deliberately or by any means, excel in that role. You have found yourself in law now, even if you don't have passion for it. Be diligent. What does diligence mean? Go for your lectures, read your textbooks, try to pass your exams. In life, most of us don't know what we want to become in life. I told you I want to become a leader in Nigeria. Why do I want to become a leader in Nigeria? My father was a politician. Growing up, I always see him run for elections. So he brought me into so I just loved it because of my father. And I read newspaper, I watch CNN and all those things. So it's our environment that shapes us. So if you know you don't have passion for law, do your law very well. Now create opportunity for serendipity to happen. What do I mean by that? Engage yourself in different things. As you're in university now, don't just have friends who are law students. Have non-law students as friends. Go to other faculties when they're having lectures or they're having program. Go for them. Go on internet. What you like as your passion, go and be watching them on the internet. Go and be reading up on them and be networking with different kind of people. Go on LinkedIn. Go and be reading about different people. Because when you are doing different kind of activities, you have to create opportunity for things to happen to you. If you just say, "Oh, I don't like law. I don't have a passion for law," and you just sit and say, "Let me just do it," and say, "Let my people go. Let me have third class," you are going to fail. You're not going to achieve anything because you are killing yourself already. So just look at it this way. I don't have a passion for law, but I find myself studying law. Okay, let me finish studying law. Maybe I won't go to law school, but let me see what happens between now and when I finish studying law. Sometimes when you start reading about law very well and you go deeply into it, you might love it. When most of us will say we don't have passion for something or we don't love something, most of us were just talking BS, pardon my choice of word. Because how can you say you don't like what you have not experienced? You need to experience something to know that you don't like it. Do you understand? So, Utman, what I want to advise you is do your law, focus on your law, experiment with various other things. When you're on holiday, during your summer holiday, instead of just sitting down in your house and just chilling, go and do internship in places that you think you like and go and read books. When you read, reading gives you ideas on what you can do. Let me give you an example now. I didn't have a YouTube channel before. I wasn't on TikTok before, but I read a book that said all those things are important and I started doing them. I didn't used to talk on LinkedIn before 2 years ago. I only write articles once in a while. But I read a book that says that as a professional, you must be visible and you must talk. And I like to give back to students. I like to mentor young people. So I just feel like, okay, let me start using LinkedIn as a platform. So by reading, you can create opportunities for yourself. Before, I would not have called myself a speaker. But now, on my profile on LinkedIn, I wrote engaging speaker because for my reading and listening to podcasts, I now know that speaking is a form of engagement. Is a form of profession on its own. So you need to explore, but succeed where you find yourself. Because a lot of people studied law. Yesterday, on Friday, I went to a bookstore called Book Nook, and the owner of that bookstore is a lady. She read law, but she didn't go to law school, and she's doing very well now. So law gives you opportunity to be able to understand so many other things. So let's even assume you don't have a passion for law. Finish your law and graduate first. By the time you graduate from law, you'll be surprised. You might like law and say, let me go and try law school. But once you are a lawyer, you can become a journalist. Like my father told me. My father said, Farouk, if you want to become a journalist, study law. Law does not stop you from being a journalist. Even if you want to go and join customs, they have legal departments in customs. So law gives you an advantage to be able to go into other field. But when you find yourself here, don't say you don't have a passion. Just do what you have to do. I tell my children every time, keep moving forward. You do what you have to do, not what you feel like doing. Life is not all about doing what you are passionate about or what you feel like doing. You have to do what you have to do. Then, if you know you don't like law, finish your law, graduate with a good grade, and go and look for other opportunities. Your story becomes better because if you have 2 degrees, your brain becomes you become smarter. You look at issues big broader. Lord Denning said the best lawyers are the lawyers who read law as a second degree, and I know that. I've seen it work. So thank you very much, Utman.